On today's episode of Undercover Boss, the CEO and chairwoman of the Dwyer Group, a parent company for 7 franchises specializing in home and vehicle maintenance, goes undercover. By working alongside her employees in the front lines, she'll find out that the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
Really? Somebody's got to explain some things to me. I don't know that something shady's not going on.
And how will her employees react when they find out her true identity?
I'm really Dina Dwyer, CEO of the Dwyer Group.
Wow.
Is that a surprise?
Yeah, it's a huge surprise.
Tune in to find out on today's episode of Undercover Boss. Headquartered in Waco, Texas, the Dwyer Group is a parent company to 7 franchise brands specializing in home and vehicle maintenance, and overseeing the 10,000 employees and in charge of running this $800 million a year business is CEO and chairwoman Dina Dwyer.
My name is Dina Dwyer Owens, and I'm the chairwoman and CEO of the Dwyer Group.
The Dwyer Group was founded by Dina's father in 1981, and it started with 36 franchise locations, and now they have more than 1,500 locations. Dina's father grew up during the Depression, so he was determined that he was going to work hard and make a great living for his family. After opening this business, every child of his worked in the company, including Dina, who worked in the real estate division and also did franchise sales. Dina took over as CEO after her father passed away, and first people doubted her as she was just known as the boss's daughter, but she quickly got the respect by working hard and growing the company exponentially. The Dwyer Group is led by 4 core values, which are respect, integrity, customer focus, and fun.
Respect, integrity, customer focus, and one of my favorites. We live our code values by having fun in the process.
Dina plans to keep and expand these core values to all franchise stores, and she's also planning to go undercover because she wants to see how things are going on in the front lines. Since she became the CEO, she hasn't been connected to the things that happen on the franchises and with the technicians, and she wants to find out what problems that they're facing to fix them. She'll be going undercover as Faith Brown, an office assistant looking for a job away from her desk work, and her employees will be asked to rate her performance and recommend her for a job. For her first job, she travels to Roswell, Georgia to work as a plumber.
Today I'm in Roswell, Georgia, and I'm going to be a plumber.
And the plumbing franchise makes the company 27% of their revenue, and during the economic recession, this franchise spot was one of the few that continued to grow, and she wants to see what makes this spot special. After getting a briefing from the owner Bob, she meets up with Wayne and he drives to a customer home, and they work on removing old water heaters and installing new ones.
And it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Kindness.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Nope.
I'm sorry. Let me just show you one time.
Dina's never done this kind of job before, so she struggles to use the tools, but with a little help from Wayne, she does pretty well. While working together, Wayne lets out his frustrations with the company and tells her that he hasn't been getting his proper payment for 2 months now. He tells her that this is not the only problem, but other technicians have been getting their payment cut, but nobody has been explaining to them why. And he believes it's because something shady is going on and that the company might be siphoning money from their employees.
I don't know that something shady's not going on.
Really just stirred my stomach up. I don't want anybody to use the word shady.
And this really upsets Dina, and she then goes on a break and makes a call to the president of the franchise and orders her to get the issue fixed immediately. For her next job, she travels to Germantown, Tennessee to work as a ground guy.
Today I'm visiting a grounds guys franchise. We call them the grounds guys because their responsibility is to take care of the lawn and the ground.
She meets up with Jake and he teaches her how to drive the lawnmower, and this one she really struggles with as she can't control the machine.
When she was mowing, she didn't know what she was doing.
And Jake had to stop her. They then cut down a tree, which was more labor intensive but easier to do for Dina, and lastly they planted flowers for the garden. The day after, she travels to Deer Park, Texas to work with a franchise owner.
Today I'm in Deer Park, Texas, and I'll be working alongside a Mr. Electric franchise owner.
She meets up with Brock and he takes her on the road, and while driving, he tells her that he really doesn't like the company's rules and standards and that he likes to focus on the business side of things, and he also tells her that customers don't really care about the standards and that they just want things done fast.
Probably in the back of their mind just saying, what in the heck are these people doing?
I am
His statements really bugged her as the company's standards are drawn from their values, and it's imperative that every franchise follow them so that every customer will have the same experience everywhere. They reach their customer home and he teaches her how to install light bulbs and socket holes, and she starts off a little rough as a person who's never done this kind of thing before, but as she gets the hang of it, she does pretty great by the end. For her last job, she travels to Conroe, Texas to work as a service technician.
I'm here in Conroe, Texas, working with the Mr. Appliance franchise, and I will be a service technician today.
And she takes her to a customer home and they start fixing the stove. Tana is a good teacher and she explains everything well.
This is our temperature sensor, so when they start to weaken, you get soggy biscuits.
Right.
And Dina follows her instruction and they finish the job together. They then work on a fridge, and while working together, Dina learns that Tana is a mother of 4.
Kind of how I was. I have 4 kids.
You have 4 kids? You
Yeah.
look old enough to have 4 kids.
Thank you, I'll take it.
And is doing the job to help with their financial problems, and her husband is very supportive, but his income was not great, so they had to step in and help.
You know, she cares so much about the customer. She's just a great example of how women can do well in this type of a business.
Dina is inspired by her story, and after their work, she gets to meet Tana's husband and children in their home. And finally, Dina's undercover time has come to an end, and she's been frustrated by some of the information that she's found out, and she was inspired by some of her employees, but she's invited all of them to her family ranch to reveal her true identity. First in was Brock, and she tells him that he had grown his business well, but him not following the company's guidelines was not acceptable, and she explains to him why they're very important, and she then goes on to offer to pay for his branding, and Brock promises to work on following all of the guidelines.
It's kind of hard to know exactly how to respond to something like that. Opportunity for improvement. You want to give it a try.
Next in was Wayne, and she tells him that she appreciates him telling her about his frustrations and the problems that he was having with his owner, and she tells him that she is working with the president on those issues and that they will all be fixed very soon, and she goes on to give him $20,000 so he can pay for his mortgage.
The fact that she's giving me $20,000 towards a home is just, I don't even know how to thank somebody for something like that.
Next in was Jake, and she tells him that she had a fun experience working with him and that he was a great employee, and she reveals to him that she's decided to give him a franchise with everything paid off, and she also gives him a brand new truck. Last in was Tana, and she tells her that she was an amazing employee and an inspiring person overall, and she offers to mentor her and help her give courses to other women in the company, and she goes on to give her a $10,000 education fund for each of her children and another $25,000 reward for being such a great employee.
It's definitely a blessing. That's all I can say.
And that is it for today's recap of Undercover Boss.